Hello everyone. Thank you again for tuning in to No Sweat English. My name is Carol Wright. I'll be your teacher for the day. Today we're going to talk about the difference between simple past and past perfect. Before we do that, if you have not hit the subscribe button, please do so and the bell so that every time a video gets uploaded, you'll be notified. Let's get started. So simple past and past perfect. Sometimes students have a problem distinguishing the two. When do I use simple past? When do I use past perfect? Do I really need past perfect? I'm hoping to clarify that for you today. So with simple past, as a review, this is the form with the regular ed or irregular verb, right? So what I mean by that regular ed, like if you have the verb talk, we turn that into talked, right? Or walk, walked, or irregular, teach and taught, right? You don't put the ed next to teach. So there you will be able to find a list of irregular verbs very easily if you just Google that. So that's the form of the simple past. Usage, when we talk about past action that started and ended in the past. Again, no relationship with the future, just the past. This is what I did. It's a very simple, that's why it's called simple past. Now, the common words we might find when we use simple past tense are when, last year, yesterday, before, after, or some type of past time. And we use this, here's the distinguishing difference between the two, is we use simple past when the order of past events, like more than one past event has happened, and the order is clear which one happened first. Okay, so in that case, if we know which one happened first, we do not need to use the past perfect tense. We only use the past perfect when which past action is first is unclear. Okay, so we use simple past when the order of past events are clear. We'll use simple past. Here's an example. Yesterday, I went to work, had lunch, exercised, and drove home. Okay? Now, when I tell you the sentence, is it clear the order of events? It should be pretty clear, right? First, I worked, then I had lunch, and then I exercised, and then I drove home. It's very clear the order of what had happened in the past. So in this case, the past perfect is unnecessary. We are not going to use past perfect because simple past is enough to talk about the events that I wanted to tell you about my day yesterday. All right, let's compare that with the past perfect. The way we make the past perfect is we use had plus the past participle, which is the third column of the grammar chart. And the usage is to show the order of past events. Which one happened first, which one happened after. Okay, all in the past. That's when we use the past perfect. Some of the common words that goes with past perfect are before and after. And I put this in parentheses later, I'll tell you why. When, by the time, and already. Okay, so let's talk about the phrase by the time. By the time means by this time, something would have already happened. So every time you see by the time, some kind of perfect tense is used. It can be future, it can be past, but since we're talking about past today, when we see by the time, your brain needs to go to some kind of perfect tense needs to be used. Now we use this when the past actions, there's more than one, and the order is unclear. I don't know which one happened first, and I want to make that clear for my listener. So we need to use this tense to make it clear, to clarify. Okay, let's look at this. By the time Mary arrived, John had already left. Okay, so by the time Mary arrived, John had already left. All right, so the past perfect is always going to be the first action, okay? The past perfect is always going to be the first action. So this tells me on a graph that after John had left, Mary arrived. How do I know that? Because of the past perfect tense, had left. I know that John had left before Mary arrived. So here we're using the past perfect tense, okay? So this is to show you again, simple past when the order of the events are clear. We do not need to use past perfect tense. But only when the order is unclear, who arrived, who left first, we're going to use past perfect to make it clear. John had already left, then Mary arrived. Okay, the second important point about the difference between simple past and past perfect is the use of when. Okay? When we use when, you know from another video I did about simple past, is that when you have two simple past tense in these two clauses, right? Came and left. There's no past perfect here, just past tense. The when is always the first action, if you remember that rule. If you haven't watched that video, go watch it. If not, let me repeat that again. So when you have two simple past clauses, the when clause, the clause with the when, is always the first action that happened. Okay, no matter where you put the clause. Okay, so in this case, when Amy came, Lacey left. So Amy came first and then Lacey left. Okay, when is always the first action when you have two simple past clauses. But in past perfect, when doesn't matter. Past perfect is always first. So in this sentence, I made this past perfect tense. When Amy came, Lacey had left. Because this is past perfect, even though the when is with Amy, Lacey is always going to be the first action that happened. Okay, so Lacey left and then Amy came. In this case, Amy came first and then Lacey left. Okay, so the difference is the past perfect doesn't matter if there's a when or not. The past perfect is always going to be the first action. Okay, so that's one thing to remember. Now, the third thing is the use of before and after. Okay, so when we say before and after, you understand the meaning, before and then after. When you use before and after, you can use both simple past and past perfect tense. The meaning would be the same. Okay, so let me show you an example. In this sentence, before it rained, Sue arrived. Okay, before it rained, Sue arrived. Which one happened first? The before tells us Sue arrived first, because before the raining, Sue arrived. So Sue arrived first, and then it rained. Okay? Before it rained, Sue arrived. Sue arrived first, and then it rained. Okay? How do we know that? How do we know this order? Because of the word before, right? Without before it rained, Sue arrived, we're not really sure which one happened first, but the before makes it clear. Okay? Here's another sentence. After she arrived, it rained. Okay, so which action happened first? After she arrived, it rained. So Sue arrived first, and then it rained. Again, how did I know the order? We know it because of the word after. Now remember, when we say we use simple past when the order is clear, right? And now the order is clear with before and after, we do not have to use past perfect if we're using before and after. Okay, let me repeat that. Past perfect is not necessary in this case, meaning they're both correct. If you want to use past perfect, go ahead, but simple past is enough. Why? Because the before and after makes it clear. Okay, so every time you use before and after, you can choose to use simple past or past perfect. Let's look at this sentence. Before it rained, Sue had arrived. Okay, very clear. Sue had arrived happened first and then it rained. This makes it even super clear because I'm using the past perfect, right? After Sue had arrived, it rained. Sue had arrived first and then it rained. Again, it is super clear because, like I said, the one with the past perfect is always first. Okay, so very quickly we know this. So even without this, it rained, Sue had arrived, we know the order, right? So again, when the order is clear because of before and after, we can just use the simple past. Teacher, can I use past perfect? Absolutely. So you can choose. These sentences have no difference between them. Okay? Well, hopefully today I made it clear for you the difference between simple past and past perfect. If I haven't, please comment below. I love to hear from you about what you think about my lessons and how I can improve as a teacher on camera. Okay, so please write me some comments if you have anything to say, or if you have any lesson suggestion that you're dying to know, please comment as well, and I'll try my best to make a video just for you. Okay, thank you for tuning in today. If you have not hit the subscribe button, please hit subscribe and the bell. And remember, a worksheet is available to you in my Blogspot in the description. So click on that and you should be able to find the worksheet and the answer key for you to practice and know the difference between the two. Okay, until next time, see you. Bye-bye.